Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Farzana binti Ahmad Faris. I'm from BA 1144B. So in this video, I'll be talking about the summary of Chapter 1 until Chapter 5 in the subject of Information Technology in Business MGT 300. Okay, so there are four contents that I'll be talking, which is firstly is business-driven technology overview, secondly is identifying competitive advantage, thirdly is strategy initiative for implementing competitive advantage, and the fourth is measuring the success of strategy initiative, and the last but not least is chapter 5, which is organizational structures that support strategy initiatives. So in this first slide, I will cover Chapter 1 Business-Driven Technology Overview. So as you can see, there are sales and marketing. So in here, there are four sections, which is forecasting, segmentation, advertising, and promotions. Okay, so now we go to operations and logistics. In operations and logistics, they have four sections, which is purchasing, supplying, receiving, and transportation. Let's move on to accounting and finance. So in accounting and finance, they have five sections, which is firstly is accounting, secondly is planning, thirdly is budgeting, and the fourth is tax, and the last but not least is cost. Go to the last subtopic of the chapter 1, which is human resources. So in human resources, they have four sections, which is hiring, training, benefits, and payroll. So that's the end of chapter 1. Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this slide, I'll be talking about the chapter 2, which is identifying competitive advantage. So in this topic, I'll be talking about the 5 forces model, which is, as you can see there, they are rivalry among existing competitors, threat of substitute products or services, buyer power, threat of new entrants, and the last is supplier power. Okay, so for chapter 2, I will go through the first thing first is buyer power. The definition of buyer power is high when buyers have many choices of whom to buy from and low when the choices are few. One way to reduce buyer power is through loyalty programs. So what is loyalty programs? Loyalty programs is to reward customers based on the amount of business they do with particular organization. Next, we go to supplier power. The definition of supply power is high when buyers have few choices of whom to buy from and low when the choices are many. Supply chain consists of all parties involved in the procurement of a product or raw material. So as you can see below, there are three pictures, which is firstly is, I will say that this is rice. And then the rice will be sold in the market and the customers will buy the rice from the market. So this is what we call supply chain. Okay, so next we go to our third point for this topic, for this chapter, which is threat of substitute products or services. High when there are many alternatives to a product or service and low when there are few alternatives from which to choose. So let's see what is the meaning of switching costs. Switching cost is cost that can make customers reluctant to switch to another product or service. So there are two pictures that I insert in this slide, which is a coffee and a tea. Okay, so let's go to our fourth point, which is threat of new entrants. Let's see. Threat of new entrants is high when it is easy for new competitors to enter a market and low when there are significant entry barriers to entering market. So what is entry barrier? A product or service feature that customers have come to expect from organizations in particular industry and must be offered by an entering organization to compete and survive. So in the last chapter of chapter 2, I will go through the last point, which is rivalry among existing competitors. High when competition is fierce in the market and low when competition is more complacent. Although competition is always more intense in some industries than in others, the overall trend is toward increased competition in just about every industry. So there are two pictures that I insert, which is McDonald's and KFC. So I think McDonald's and KFC are the simplest example that I can give in this slide for the subtopic of rivalry among existing competitors. Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this slide, I will talk about chapter 3, which is strategic initiative for implementing competitive advantage. So in this chapter, they have 4 subtopics that I will cover, which is firstly is supply chain management, customer relationship management, or known as CRM, business process reengineering, BPR, and the last, enterprise resource planning, ERP. Supply chain management, they have 4 sections, which is supply chain strategy for managing all resources to meet customer demand. Secondly is supply chain partners throughout the supply chain that deliver finished product, raw materials, and services. The third one is supply chain operation, schedule for production activities, and the last one is supply chain logistics, product delivery process. So next we go to customer relationship management, CRM. CRM involves managing all aspects of a customer's relationship to increase customer loyalty and organization's profitability. The next point is business process reengineering, BPR. BPR, the analysis and redesign of workflow within and between enterprises. Last subtopic for chapter 3, which is enterprise resource planning, ERP. ERP integrates all departments and functions throughout an organization into a single IT system so that employees can make decisions by viewing enterprise-wide information on all business operations. Hello, so in this slide I will talk about chapter 4, measuring the success of strategy initiatives. So in this chapter I will talk 2 things, which is firstly is efficiency IT metrics. So in efficiency IT metrics, they have throughout speed, availability, accuracy, web traffic, and response time. And the last one is effectiveness IT metrics. In effectiveness IT metric, they have usability, customer satisfaction, conversion rates, and financial. Hello everyone, so now we are in the last chapter, which is chapter 5, organizational structures that support strategic initiatives. So in this topic, I will talk about the roles that support strategic initiatives, which is firstly is Chief Information Officer, CIO. They oversees all uses of ITs and ensure the strategic alignment of IT with business goals and objectives. Next, we go to the Chief Technology Officer, CTO. They are responsible for ensuring the throughout speed, accuracy, availability, and reliability of IT and ensure the efficiency of IT. Okay then, we go to Chief Security Officer, CSO. So, CSO is responsible for ensuring the security of IT systems. Next, we go to Chief Privacy Officer, CPO. Okay, so for CPO is responsible for ensuring the ethical and legal use of information. Also, CPO is the newest senior executive position and many CPOs are lawyers by training. Okay, so now let's go to the last position of chapter 5, which is Chief Knowledge Officer, known as CKO. For CKO, they're responsible for collecting, maintaining, and distributing the organization's knowledge. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you guys had fun watching it, and thank you for your time for listening to my voice, and thank you for watching.